Yeah, hello students. We have already shared you one list of questions. I mean sample questions for the upcoming quiz examination, right? So let me just give you solutions of those questions in this video. Right. So let me explain you one after the other. See, this is the first question which we gave you. See, you are given a matrix for which the rank is 2. So then you are asked to find the value of k. Look at this matrix. You see, it is a 3 by 3 matrix. When you are given a 3 by 3 matrix, and if the rank of that matrix is 2, as we know, determinant of this matrix is obviously equals to 0. Isn't it? For a given 3 by 3 matrix, if rank of A is equals to 2, then definitely we know determinant of matrix A is 0. Now see, we need to just evaluate the determinant of this matrix, and by equating that to 0, we can calculate the value of what you call K. Now see, this is the matrix which are given, and I'm equating the determinant of this matrix to 0. You see, I'm evaluating the determinant of this matrix about what you call the first row. So see, you'll get it like this, K times. Now see, leaving first row in first column, you'll get it as K square minus, 0 into minus 1, it is 0 only. Then minus, and here it is a C minus 1, the second element. So that's how you'll get this as plus 1 into. Now you leave the first row and second column. Leaving the first row and second column, you see, you'll get it like this, 0 into K minus 1 into minus 1. That's how you'll get it as minus 1 here, and you're equating this to 0, because you see the third element is 0 here. I'm not writing the next term. And now if you can simplify this, you see, you'll get it like this, K into K square minus 1 is equals to 0. Now see, you can actually write it like this, assume it as A cube minus B cube is equals to 0, and therefore you can write it as K minus 1 into K square plus K plus 1 is equals to 0. You see, when you solve this, you will get one real value for K as 1, but you see, if you solve this, you will get two complex numbers for K. But see, here we'll take only real numbers, as you know. That's how the value of K here is 1. So the answer is option A. Right? So that's how you can answer this first question. Then if you look at the second question, you are given two matrices A and B, and both are of order 3 by 4. See, when you are given two matrices of same order, then only you can actually add them, as you know. So when you add these two matrices, you will get a new matrix A plus B, whose order is also what you call 3 by 4. Isn't it? So you will get a new matrix A plus B, whose order is also 3 by 4. We have one property, for matrices in the case of rank. When you are given an m by n matrix, rank of this matrix is always less than minimum of, in fact, less than or equals to minimum of m comma n. So since here the rank is, the order of matrix is 3 cross 4, and see, among these two, since minimum is 3, rank of matrix A plus B will be less than or equal to minimum of 3 comma 4, which is 3. That's how you see the answer for this question is option B. Right? That's how you can answer this. Then if you look at the third question, now see, for what values of P, you are given two sets of, two equations, and we are expecting a no solution to this. So when you are given a system of equations, usually, as you know, we'll write it in its matrix form, right? So when you write it in matrix form, you'll get it like this, 2, 3, then 3P. Then you see, this is the solution vector, and on the right side, see, this is the right hand side vector. Now see, from here you will actually take what you call the augmented matrix. You see, 2, 3, 5, 3P, 10. So to identify whether this has a solution or not, we need to reduce this into its echelon form. So now see, if you take this as R1 and this as R2, using this 2, now let's make this 3 as a 0, right? How can we do that? You see, this is R2, right? So let me multiply R2 with the 3, with the 2, so that here we'll get it as 6. Then to get a 6 there, let us multiply R1 with 3. Then you can take a difference between these two. Now see, you are writing like this, R2 changes to 2R2 minus 3R1. Now as a result of this operation, see what happens. I'm writing here. Then it is equivalent to, first row you are anyway not changing that, let it be like this. Then 2R2, 2 times 3, 6. 6 minus, 3 times 2. 6 minus 6, you get the first element as 0. Then the second element, you see, 2 times P minus 3 times 3. We'll get this as 2P minus 9. And here you see, when you multiply second row with, this 10 with 2, we'll get this as 20. And then 3 times 5, it is 15. So 20 minus 15, we'll get this as simply 5. Now look at this, see, this is what you call the augmented matrix. In case if this element is 0 here, we'll get the rank of matrix A as 2. In case if 2p minus 9 is equals to 0, we'll get rank of A as 1, because we'll get a 0 row here. But rank of AB will be directly 2, because you see have a non-zero row here, non-zero element here. Because of this non-zero element, this row becomes completely non-zero. That's how we'll get the rank of augmented matrix as 2. And since these two are not equal, we can say there is no solution. So to get no solution case, we want 2p minus 9 is equals to 0. If 2p minus 9 is equals to 0, as you know, you can write p as 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. That's how you see the answer for this question is option D. Now let me move on to the next question. Look at this, little interesting question. Which row operation should be performed next in order to effectively solve the system of equations corresponding to the following augmented matrix? Remember, when you are given a system of equations, we'll write first its matrix form. Then we'll try to take what you call this augmented matrix, isn't it? Now see, by taking the augmented matrix, we'll try to reduce this into its echelon form. After reducing this into its echelon form, we'll again try to write what you call those equations. After writing the equations, we'll use what you call back substitution method. I mean, from the last equation, we'll get the value of Z. By back substituting Z value in the second equation, we'll calculate the value of Y. And then by back substituting the values of Y and Z in the first equation, we'll calculate, what you call X. You see, this is what, back substitution method. To use this back substitution method in solving the system of equations, you see, this is the augmented matrix you have in one stage of simplification. What operation you should use, to reduce this into its echelon form, right? To get echelon form from this step, what operation should be used? That's a question in simple. Now see, to reduce this into its echelon form, using this second row, second element, we need to make this 2 as a 0. That's how you see you will get what you call required echelon form. And of course, from that, you can write what you call equations, isn't it? So how can we make this 2 as a 0 using 1? It is in R3, right? So you are changing R3, and then in R3 there is a 2. So if you multiply this second row by 2, there also you will get a 2, right? That's how you are multiplying R2 by 2. And then because you have 2 in both the rows, you can take difference between them. So the operation which you should use to get a what you call echelon form there is this R3 changes to R3 minus 2R2. That's how. See, the correct answer for this question is, you see, option C. That's the correct answer here. Then see next question. Yeah, see, this is a little important and interesting question. If 3, 2, 5 are the eigenvalues of A, then what are the eigenvalues of this particular expression? Remember, we have properties of eigenvalues. If lambda is the eigenvalue of A, you see, we have studied these properties. If lambda is the eigenvalue of A, then we know the eigenvalues of A square, they are lambda square. If lambda is the eigenvalue of A, then lambda square is the eigenvalue of A square. In a similar way, if lambda is eigenvalue of A, then you see 2 lambda is the eigenvalue of 2A. We have studied these things. Then similarly, for identity matrix I, we know always 1, 1, 1. In case if it is a 3 by 3 matrix, then corresponding to them, we'll get 3 times 1 as the eigenvalue. Right? If it is a 2 by 2 matrix, then you will get 1, 2 times as the eigenvalue. Right? So keeping these properties in mind, we are finding the eigenvalues of this expression. See how I am writing this. Corresponding to A, you are initially given 3, 2, 5 as the eigenvalues. Then see, what are the eigenvalues of A square? Now see, as we know, as per this property, you can just take them, you can just take squares of these 3 eigenvalues. So corresponding to A square, 9, 4, 25. These 3 are the eigenvalues. Then see what you have there, actually 2A square, you see. So if you take 2A square, then if these 3 are the eigenvalues of A square, then for 2A square, these are the eigenvalues. You see, 2 times 9, 18, then 2 times 4, 8, then 2 times 25, 50. These 3 are the eigenvalues of the matrix 2A square. Then you see what you have there, minus A. You know already what are the eigenvalues of matrix A. So if you multiply these three eigenvalues with minus a, minus sign, then they are the eigenvalues of minus a. So they are minus 3, minus 2, and minus 5. These three are the eigenvalues of this matrix A. Then see what are the eigenvalues of I? We know already they are 1, 1, 1, right? So therefore, for 3i, we need to multiply these three eigenvalues with number 3. So for 3i, the eigenvalues are 3, 3, and 3. Now see, to get the eigenvalues of this expression, what it is? 2a square minus a plus 3i. See, to get the eigenvalues of this expression, add these three numbers, right? See, corresponding to this new expression, the first eigenvalue is this now, 18 minus 3 plus 3. 18 minus 3, 15. 15 plus 3, you see, again this is 18. Next, the second eigenvalue, you see, 8 minus 2, 6. 6 plus 3, 9. Next, 50 minus 5, which is 45. 45 plus 3, it is 48. You see, these three are the eigenvalues of this expression. You see, the correct option here is option C. That's how you can answer this. Now, if you look at this next question, yeah, see, if the matrix is 3, 1, minus 1, 2, then what is A square? See, when you are representing one matrix in terms of other matrix, you know, even including identity matrix, remember, you should get the idea of Kelly-Hamilton theorem, right? So we have one Kelly-Hamilton theorem, which is every square matrix satisfies its own characteristic equation. So using that idea, we need to find out, we need to represent A square in terms of A as well as I. So you see, to use Kelly-Hamilton theorem, we need to first calculate what you call characteristic equation, isn't it? Which is determinant of A minus lambda is equals to 0. So if you just evaluate this, see, when you write A minus lambda I, it is this 3 minus lambda, 1, minus 1, and 2 minus lambda. See, if you equate this determinant to 0, see how much you'll get. If you evaluate the determinant, it is 3 minus lambda into 2 minus lambda minus, see, it is minus 1 into minus 1. We'll get again minus 1, so it becomes plus 1 here. So if you can multiply these two, you see, minus lambda into minus lambda, which is lambda square. Then you see, if you take lambda terms, first of all, you see, minus lambda into 2, minus 2 lambda, then 3 into minus lambda, minus 3 lambda, minus 2 lambda, it is, you see, minus 5 lambda. Then if you multiply the constants, it is 3 times 2, 6, and then 6 plus 1, it is 7. See, this is the characteristic equation corresponding to the given matrix. Now, if you use Kelly-Hamilton theorem, we know this matrix A satisfies, you know, this characteristic equation. Therefore, you know, we'll definitely get this expression. If you replace lambda by A, we'll get A square minus 5A plus, you know, we write it as 7I is equals to 0. Therefore, you see, from this expression, we can write A square is equal to, if you can send these two terms to the other side, we'll get it as 5A minus 7I. That's how you see here, this is the correct answer. Option C again, right? That's how you can represent A square like this using Kelly-Hamilton theorem. Next, if you look at this matrix, see, you are given a matrix capital A, and then you are asked to find out the model matrix. Remember, model matrix is the matrix which consists of eigenvectors as its columns, right? Because it is a 2 by 2 matrix, we'll get 2 eigenvalues corresponding to this, and then corresponding to those 2 eigenvalues, we'll get 2 eigenvectors. If we can represent those 2 eigenvectors as columns here, this matrix, we call it as what you know, model matrix. Now see, to write the model matrix of this matrix, we need to find out the eigenvalues and then of course eigenvectors. So to calculate the eigenvalues, you see, we need to evaluate determinant of A minus lambda and equate it to 0. So if you just evaluate this, see, it is this way, 1 minus lambda into 4 into 2 into, you see, this is, 3 minus lambda. These are the elements of matrix A minus lambda I. So if you just evaluate this determinant, it is 1 minus lambda into 3 minus lambda minus 2 times 4, you see, it is 8 is equals to 0. Then see if you can simplify this. I'm just multiplying these two minus lambdas, which is lambda square. Then if you take what you call lambda terms, we'll take it like this, you see, 1 into minus lambda, then minus 3 into lambda, minus lambda minus 3 lambda, which is minus 4 lambda. And then see, if you multiply the constants, 3 minus 8 is this. See, here it is 3, and then here is a minus 8 also. 3 minus 8, you know, we'll get this as minus 5 is equals to 0. Now see if you can write it, if you can factorize this, we can write it as lambda minus 5 into lambda plus 1 is equals to 0, and that's how we'll get the values of lambda as 5 and minus 1. You can use a calculator to solve this expression and to get the eigenvalues. Then you see we got two eigenvalues corresponding to two eigenvalues. We'll get two different eigenvectors. See, to get the eigenvector of lambda is equals to 5, you see we need to take this expression as we know a minus lambda into x is equals to 0. So in place of a minus lambda I mean in place of lambda in this a minus lambda I'm now substituting lambda is equals to 5. So here I'm substituting lambda is equals to 5. You see 1 minus lambda, 1 minus 5 is minus 4, and here is a 4. Then it is 2 here. Then 3 minus 5 will get it as minus 2. And you see as usually we know there will be some xy and 0 0 here. Now see here, if you take some row operation like this, R2 changes to 2R2 plus R1. Right? So here we are multiplying this row by 2 and then you are adding it to the first row. So when you multiply the elements of R2 by 2, we'll get 4 and minus 4 here. And when you add them to the first row, we'll get completely a 0 row here, right? So we'll get it something like this, minus 4, 4, and here it is completely 0. And then you see, if you can write equations from this, we'll get it like this, minus 4x plus 4y is equals to 0. And this implies, you see, because here you have minus 4x and plus 4y. You can take 4 common, you know, from them you will get it as x is equals to y, and I'm taking it as k. Therefore, you see the first eigenvector, you can actually take it as k comma k, and in particular, if you take it as k is equals to 1, we can write the eigenvector as 1. The first eigenvector is 1 there. Then if you take the eigenvector corresponding to the second eigenvalue minus 1, see how much you'll get it. Again, the same story. In 1 minus lambda, I'm substituting lambda is equal to minus 1. So 1 minus of minus 1, 1 plus 1, you see it is 2, 4. Then in the second row also it is 2. And in place of lambda here, if you substitute minus 1, 3 minus of minus 1, even this is also 4 here, because you got two rows as same. You can easily make one of the rows as zeros and you can subtract one from the other here, right? That's how we'll get it like this. Is 2, 4, 0, 0. And here you'll get completely the remaining, the second row as completely a 0 row. So that you see the equation which you'll get from here is 2x plus 4y is equals to 0. And you can write it like this, you see, 2x is equals to 2x is equals to minus 4y. And if you can take y is equals to k, or else you see you can also write it like this, x is equals to, you can divide both sides by 2. That's how we'll get x is equals to minus 2y. And if you take y is equals to k, then you know we'll get x is equals to minus 2k. That's how you see the eigenvector here. It is minus 2k and k. And in particular, if you take k is equals to 1, we'll get this as minus 2, 1. Now see, as I told you, modal matrix of this matrix is the matrix with columns as these eigenvectors. That's how you see the vector which you will get here is this. First vector is first column, 1, 1. Then second vector is your second column, minus 2, 1. See where it is. So this fourth option is the correct one here. Right? Sometimes we may take this second vector as the first column there. Right? That is also possible, because if they consider the second eigenvalue as the first one in their calculation, they may consider this minus 2, 1 as the first column, and then the second column as 1, 1. In either ways, you can identify the answer. So anyway, in this way, as it is given in this question, this is the right option, D. Now, if you look at the last question, what are the eigenvalues of this matrix? As usually, to find out the eigenvalues of this matrix, we need to take determinant of a minus lambda I to 0. Correct? Now, what it is a minus lambda I here, 0 minus lambda minus lambda I, and I here also it is 0 minus lambda minus lambda, and you are equating this determinant to 0. So if you just evaluate this determinant, see how much it is. Minus lambda into minus lambda, it is lambda square. Then minus I into I, it is I square. What you know, I square is minus 1, correct? So minus of minus 1, it becomes plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is the characteristic equation. And that's how you see lambda square plus 1 is equal to 0 means we'll get lambda square is equals to minus 1. And therefore, you see lambda is equals to plus or minus I. I mean the eigenvalues are I comma minus I. That's how you see the option is B here. The correct option is option B. That's how you see, even in your examination, which you are going to write very soon, there will be questions which you can answer directly. You see here, there are few questions which you can answer. If you look at this, this is a question which you can answer directly. And in other questions, there are some simple calculations, and there are few questions, this is also a question which you can answer directly. And see, there are few questions which need little more calculations like this. So the question paper consists of all these models. So practice well. And as you know, the only path to get success is hard work. So I wish you all the best. Do well.